I really don't know what direction the band are going to go in. I think with American Idiot, they kind of found their feet again. If you look at the orchestration and the way the record's set up, it's a lot more complex. You know, there's songs with a lot of parts. There's lots of sort of key changes, and the songs change direction, and the ideas which they hadn't really done before. They had very short songs back to back. American Idiot was a grander theme, if you like, and I think that's kind of possibly given them a lot more confidence to progress in the same way that a band like The Clash might have kind of got bigger and bolder the more they went on. I could see Green Day really kind of pushing it a bit further. I mean, I'd like to see them kind of follow through on some of the ideas they brought up on American Idiot and kind of not settle into the same niche, but I think they could kind of build on that record, and you know, if they do it right, they could be around for many more years, I think, because they're still young guys, you know, and they've still got the kind of energy and the skills and the interest in what they're doing to keep producing strong records.
I think bands and artists live their life from benchmark to benchmark. You know, they have their career. You don't tell a painter to stop painting. You don't tell a songwriter to stop writing songs, because even if they get a different job doing something, they're going to come home at night and play their guitar and write songs. Regardless of what happens after American Idiot, Green Day is a great band and is going to continue to be a great band. Their shows are absolutely amazing. Their performance, their songs that they write are catchy, they're great, and they are established. They are great. They've done it. And whether this album is so big that the next three can't keep up until the next benchmark, it doesn't matter, because the one after this one's going to be a great Green Day record with good songs that I'm going to have.
This would be the perfect place for Green Day to go, thank you all, no more albums, bye-bye. I don't think they're going to do that. You know, I think that, just like after Dookie, they continued to put out great records. They didn't sell as many, but they're still great records. And I think that they will stand the test of time. I think that after American Idiot, it's going to be the same thing. I don't care what the next Green Day album sounds like. It's not going to sell as many copies as American Idiot. It's just not going to happen. And it's not going to sell as many as Dookie. You know, whatever. I think Green Day knows that. I think we all know that. It's like these huge albums, these events don't happen. They don't grow on trees. It's not like just because you're a particular band, every album is going to sell, 14 million. The next album will be another great Green Day album. Is it going to sell 18 million copies? No, probably not. Whatever. It's not going to take anything away from the fact that it's probably going to be another great Green Day album.
For them to say it's not a pressure, I mean, even though he'll get on the air and say that, you know it is. I mean, you got to only imagine where their heads are at. I know they're in the studio right now, and I know they're working on a follow-up. I probably will not be anything like American Idiot, because it was a concept record, and I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know anything, but I think it'll do something. They're not going to do what you expect. That's what the band's all about. That's why they're great. And they might have to risk not being as successful, and that's as well. I think they've shown that they can rise above wherever they're put in the echelon of music. So it is going to be interesting to see how they can come back after that, though. I'll be honest with you.
I suppose the big question with Green Day is, how do you follow American Idiot? They had the question with Dookie, and they decided to follow Dookie by not following it. They just did a slightly different type of album that didn't necessarily reflect what Dookie was all about. But they were a lot younger then, and you do wonder now whether they painted themselves into a corner. They've moved into becoming a stadium rock band. That's the only way to describe it, really. There's very little connection between the Green Day of 2006 and the Green Day of 1992-93, let alone 1986. But people change, people mature, people move on. They shouldn't be the people they were in '86. I suspect what Green Day will do is not try and follow American Idiot. There won't be another concept album. I'm sure of that. They'll probably come up with as strong a selection of songs as possible and put them in the best possible context. And if that means using a string section and bringing in extra musicians, I think they'll do it. I think that's what you may well find in the next album, is that they will actually start to use other musicians and expand the sound.
I don't know. I don't know what they should do next, honestly, because American Idiot was such an opus and so well produced and involves so many different elements that if they do another one just like it, then they've just done another one just like it. They've always been very good about sort of, while still maintaining their sound, sort of evolving a little bit from record to record, whether it's in the songwriting or some new element that they added, like Time of Your Life on Nimrod, or you know, like this massive, just make it bigger than life, like with American Idiot. I don't know. They might just go back to doing a straight up punk disc, which might be cool. Just the three of them in a room, just knocking it out and putting up just like a just full on, just straight on punk rock record. That might be cool. They might want to do a whole album full of unplugged experimental acoustic guitars and, you know, Mike Dirnt playing a stand-up bass and Trey Cool playing bongos or something. You know, I don't know. What they should do next is what musically they want to do next, because they bought themselves that freedom again with American Idiot. With the success of that, I think that they can afford to do another indulgent move. So whatever they want to do musically, you know, is what they should do, without thoughts of record sales or without thoughts of MTV play or whatever. They should just do musically what they think is the best thing for them to do.